Hereby, a short explanation about the setup that we prepared for the planning, resource planning. We discussed to first start simple, with a simple concept based on the minimal requirements per resource. So only the capacity. Um, we have two kinds of resource types. The in-house resources, that means all the resources that can be done inside of the factory, and we have the outsourced resources, like for example powder coating. If we don't have a powder coating facility, so we have to outsource that. That is going to be different. So I first want to focus on the in-house resources. What we need to establish is a few basic steps. So I put it in different tabs. In the first place, we go to the company default. The company default, it determines the dates that the company is closed. For example, in this case, New Year, the 1st of January 2022. And we will have a selection here that says all the resources, or we can select resources that are available. Maybe some of the resources, they don't shut down, they can still do the work even though the company is closed. Um, so we can select that here. We can put in the dates and the description and the selection for which resources it applies to, or we can upload a file like a standard holiday calendar of a country by CSV. But in the first place, just manual. Then we go a little bit further and we go to the default per in-house resource. This will populate the calendar of the in-house resource. Now, in this case, you select bending. What I discussed with Wim is that we have different tabs. One is for planning. In that planning, we have a few things that I have to explain a little bit further. Um, the planning percentage default. This can maximum be 100%. Preferably, it's a separate sheet, the same every day, but we we will discuss that. This means we have a capacity of 8 hours, for example, on Monday, and the numbers of the past show us that we have maximum output of 87%. Now, in this case, this is the default. 5 days a week, we have a capacity of 8. That means one group of 8. We can maximum have 24 hours per machine, of course. Now, if we say we have 2 hours of maintenance on Monday, what will happen? This will be the default, but we can also override this. For example, if we know that on Friday people work a little bit less efficient because they are already with their mind on the weekend, we can say, okay, on Friday for this particular resource, it's only 80%. Now, the calculation is quite simple. The gross capacity minus the maintenance or downtime, malfunction. We have to think about that, what we want to put here, but at least maintenance, so 2 hours times the percentage. So on a Monday standard, we have 5.22 hours availability, net capacity for this machine. If the 1st of January, for example, is on a Monday, then the capacity will automatically be overruled, and it's on that day, the 1st of January, it's not 5.22, but it's 0 because the company is closed. And we selected all resources. Then we go to, oh, I see that I didn't translate this. Um, I will change that in the file to English. This is the resource in-house capacity total. So what it does, as I just explained you, the bending resource is just seeing what are the calculations. So the 1st of January 2022, it's not on a Monday, but it is, as you can see, on a Saturday, and the second is on a Sunday. So the calculated hours are 0 and 0. The third is on a Monday, and here you see the 5.22 again. So this is a lookup of the resource, the date, the day of the week, the net hours, and the company default. Then we have the ultimately available hours, and this is the hours taken from hours calculated rhodium, so this column, overwritten manually or by external output. So let's say we have 5.22 hours available calculated, but the external planning tells us we already have 5 hours planned on that day. So it will deduct this 5 hours and it will say, okay, you have 0.22 hours left available to fill up in the planning. Now, these dates will just be filled automatically based on these days and the net capacity.